United signed Van der Beek, Barca agreed to Wijnaldum deal, Bale open to a Premier League return, a transfer roundup, and today's Thursday favourites all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host Matt Froelich, you are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first off, and yes, you probably know by now, as you would have seen the news yesterday, that Donny van der Beek is officially a Manchester United player. £35 million is how much it costs, plus £5 million in add-ons, and he signed a contract until 2025, and this is a fantastic deal for Manchester United. Like, we spoke about it earlier in this week's TFW, which you can find right here, about how he's going to fit in, how United have a few selection problems with the likes of Pogba, Fernandes, Matic, McTominay, Fred, all in the central midfield area as well. But on the other side of this, he's such a good player, Van der Beek. He's very versatile across several positions. Barcelona are in for him, and all it's taken is 35, well, if you give the add-ons, £40 million. Why wasn't anyone else interested in him? This Manchester United interest seems to have been sort of in and out of focus for the last 6 or 7 months, but only really has become strong in the last week or so, certainly in the mainstream media. So there you go. They just show up 1 week, 40 million, done. Dutch international, over 170 games for Ajax, Champions League experience all the way out to the semi-final. This is one hell of a signing and cannot be underestimated for Manchester United's midfield and their overall squad depth next season. Honestly, I know Ed Woodward and United get a bad rap in the transfer market, especially when it comes to the Jadon Sancho deal falling through, but this is a very, very good bit of business. Moving on though, and to Barcelona, and no, it's not actually some messy news, because as I mentioned yesterday in the comment section, and I will mention again, until something like ridiculously concrete happens, I'm not really going to have him all over the title and the thumbnail every single day. You guys know what's happening with Messi. Not really much at the moment, apart from a couple of meetings, but I will, of course, inform you. Anyway, back to Barcelona, and they apparently have agreed a deal with Liverpool for Gini Wijnaldum. 15 to 20 million euros is the ballpark that has been thrown around, and that's because Wijnaldum's only got 1 year left on his current contract, and it looks as though there's no new deal on the table for him. Whether or not this has anything to do with the fact that Liverpool are hoping to bring in Thiago, that may or may not mean that Wijnaldum doesn't necessarily have a place in the starting 11. For Gini Wijnaldum, it's a pretty big deal. He does link up with his Dutch coach Ronald Koeman, and also to have both Liverpool and Barcelona on your footballing CV, it's massive. Regardless of the fact if Barcelona are on a downhill trend or Messi leaves and they're not as good as they used to be and whatever, it's still a massive club to go to as well. Moving on though, and talking of a move that may happen or may not happen because it's Gareth Bale, and it's Gareth Bale moving from Real Madrid back to the Premier League. He was saying yesterday that Real Madrid, the club, are making it very difficult for him to leave. Last summer he had this agreement to move to China. Apparently this was going to earn him about €1 million per week, which is insane, but if someone's offering it, of course you're going to take it. He was about to go, Real Madrid said he could go for free, and then Florentino Perez turned around and said, actually, we want a transfer fee for him. That, of course, shut the whole move off as the Chinese club weren't willing to pay it, and it meant that Bale was doomed to another season stuck at the Santiago Bernabeu. Now, it's clear that he doesn't get on well with the club, doesn't get on well with Zidane, or the fans pretty much. He always seems to be taking the piss, whether he's on the bench, in training, sometimes even on the field, and it seems to be all about the goal for him. So, when he mentioned that it's really, really difficult for him to leave the club, I can't help but feel like he's playing a little bit of the, the world's smallest violin. It's a little bit of a sad story. Oh, feel sorry for me. You clearly are happy to pick up the rest of your money. Your agent has said that you're so happy to just sit there and spend the next 2 years at Real Madrid not even playing, just collecting money. So maybe it's the agent's problem. I don't know. It just seems to me that if Leo Messi, Barca's greatest ever player, can force a move away from the club, I'm pretty sure Gareth Bale, who isn't wanted or respected at the club and doesn't like the club back, can manage to engineer a move away. Where he'll end up? Well, it looks like it could be the Premier League. There have been rumours that Mourinho wants to bring him to Spurs, a fairy tale return, and he has said that he is open to anything that comes his way, especially including the Premier League. Next up, in a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news that you might have missed, and both Torino and Fiorentina are interested in holding talks with Arsenal over their Uruguayan midfielder Lucas Torreira. Ryan Fraser looks set to complete a free transfer to Newcastle after his Bournemouth contract expired. Bayern Munich look like they may be winning the race for Ajax fullback Serginho Dest. And lastly but not least, yes, there was a meeting between Barca president Josep Bartomeu and Lionel Messi's father Jorge Messi, and well, apparently not too much concrete actually came out of that meeting, and there will be more advanced talks in the next few days. That's all of your little Messi update for today. So lastly but not least, we come to this week's Thursday favourites, where you guys asked me some of my 5 favourite things in football in the comment section below. This week's comes from Mania120, who has said, Matt, who are your 5 favourite signings of the window so far? Now, of course, this is kind of difficult because they're my favourite because I like the player, but, you know, 1 or 2 of them are signing for my team's rivals, so it's quite difficult to enjoy them. Having said that, in no particular order, my 5 favourite signings of this transfer window so far are Hakim Ziyech. I think he's a wonderfully talented player. Yes, I'll be annoyed when Chelsea and Ziyech manage to do the, probably the double over Spurs this season, or at least beat them once, but on the other hand, he's a phenomenally interesting player to watch. He makes things happen, he's got brilliant skills, has got an eye for an outstanding goal and assist, and yeah, I just think he's a really exciting player to watch. The same thing goes for Leroy Sané. He finally completed his move to Bayern Munich, and it'll be interesting to see how he plays back in the Bundesliga and also how he adds to this incredible Bayern Munich machine. The next one, and it's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Now, yes, of course, there's a little bit of a Spurs tint to this one, but come on. Spurs haven't exactly had the best of luck in the transfer window recently, so I'm kind of excited they managed to do a pretty good deal, including Kyle Walker-Peters going the other way, meaning that Højbjerg was signed for a total fee of around £3 million. It's a brilliant signing, it'll help the Spurs midfield, and yeah, I'm excited to see him next season. The next one is Eberechi Eze. QPR managed to get around £19.5 million for the youngster as he headed to South London to join Crystal Palace. For those of you who don't watch much Champions League football, the guy is a serious baller. He's got brilliant technique, fantastic skill, and really floats around the attacking area extremely well. If Palace manage to hold on to Wilfried Zaha as well, I think those two are going to cause havoc this season. Especially that is what Crystal Palace need, as their attacking threat is often, let's say, not so sharp. And the final one is Achraf Hakimi. I've spoken about him quite recently because I just think he's such a good player, such an exciting wing-back, and Inter Milan are putting a really good squad together, and he fits into it so well under Antonio Conte. So yeah, that's a pretty exciting signing as well. So there you have it. You guys let me know your 5 favourite signings in the comment section down below, and your thoughts on the rest of today's daily news. Whilst you're at it, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on Onefootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.